Hi, welcome you all for today's session. In this session, I'm going to talk about data warehouse implementation, how to implement data warehouse. As we know that data warehouse contain huge volume of the data. OLAP servers may demand decision support queries should be answered within seconds. So that it is very crucial task for data warehouses. But however, we will see some of the efficient implementation techniques of the data warehouse. They are efficient computation of data cubes, indexing OLAP data, and efficient processing of OLAP queries. Again, in this efficient computation, we have compute cube operator and different materialization methods. Similarly, there are two categories of the indexing, bitmap indexing method and join indexing method. So let us see about the first one, compute cube operator. As we know that data cube can be viewed as a lattice of cuboids in the last session. And the bottommost cuboid is the base cuboid. And whereas the topmost cuboid is called as apex cuboid in the data cube or lattice of cuboids. And how to determine the total number of cuboids? The total number of cuboids are group bys that can be computed for any data cube with n dimensions. The formula is 2 to the power of n. So let us take one of the example from the All Electronics database. If the number of dimensions given as item, city, and year. So there are 3 dimensions will be given. So that 2 to the power of 3 as per formula 2 to the power of n, because 3 dimensions are there. So there are 8 cuboids, 8 group bys we can perform in the lattice of cuboid. For example, the queries are like this. So the compute sum of sales group by city. So we can implement the queries in data warehouse like this and compute sum of sales group by city and item. In the first query, only 1 dimension involved. In the second query, there are 2 dimensions involved. Let us see how the compute cube operator we have to write in order to implement the data warehouse. So the definition of the compute, what compute cube operator will do? The compute cube operator mainly computes, aggregates, summarization, overall subsets of the dimensions specified in the operation. So initially for given 3 dimensions, first we have to construct the lattice of cuboid. See this one with the base cuboid. This is the last one. Bottom cuboid is called as the base cuboid with city item here. Whereas the top one is the apex. Already I discussed about this lattice of cuboid in the last session. So form the lattice of cuboid. Then calculate the possible group bys. See this one, group by city and item, group by city here. So this is 2 dimension combination, 3 dimensions combination. All the possible group bys are represented here. So that represent possible group bys in the lattice of cuboid. Now we have to write the compute cube operator using the DMQL query language. So this is the syntax, whatever given in the red color, define cube. These are the keywords. Sales, I would like to determine sales with respect to the 3 dimensions, item, city, year, right? By considering these 3 dimensions, calculate the sum of the sales in the dollars. For this, compute cube sales. Already sales is defined here, declarations are given. Now compute cube operator will calculate the sales with respect to the 3 dimensions. This is a usage of compute cube operator. Now coming to the materialization. Before going to apply the data mining techniques, we can pre-computation will be done for the data cube so that in order to increase the efficiency. So such pre-computation of the data cube is called as materialization. There are 3 kinds of the materialization: new materialization, full materialization, and partial materialization. In the new materialization, do not pre-compute even single cuboid in the lattice of cuboid. There is no pre-computation is not done for any of the cuboid. In that situation, it is called as a new materialization. If we use such dimensions of the data warehouse for implementation, then this leads to the computing expensive multidimensional aggregates. Because at the time of data mining, lot of expensive to calculate, to do the computation, because there is no pre-computation done. And coming to the full materialization, pre-compute all the cuboids. In full materialization, all the cuboids in the whatever we have in the lattice of cuboid, all those are pre-computation will be done prior before going to start the data mining task. Then the resulting lattice of computed cuboids is referred as a full cube. Now because all computation is done, this is called as a full cube. This choice is typically requires huge amount of memory space, because a lot of space is required in order to calculate the group bys. On every cuboid we are going to compute it prior. So there's a lot of memory space is required. So this is the drawback of full materialization. Now coming to the partial materialization. This is selectively whatever cuboids are required for our task. Those cuboids only we need to do the pre-computation prior before going to apply the data mining technique. That is nothing but the partial materialization. Obviously, it will take the less space, and obviously it will reduce the time during the data mining task, and efficiency will be increased. That's what partial materialization is suggestible. So here major task we are doing in partial materialization is identify the subset of cuboids to materialize, exploit the materializer cuboids during query processing, and then efficiently update the materializer cuboids during load and refresh into the data warehouse. So that now implementation task becomes easy if we do the partial materialization. Now the second, another one is, the first one is cube computation, second one is indexing OLAP data. So indexing is another fast, efficient accessing or searching method. There are two kinds of the indexing supports in the data warehouse during implementation. One is bitmap indexing, other one is join indexing. So coming to the bitmap indexing, this is alternative representation of the base table. So for given base table, here the record IDs R1 to R8 is given, that is row 1, row 2, or record 1, record 2, record 3. With the two attributes called as item and city, having the values are like this, right? This is home, entertainment, computer, phone, and the security. Similarly, here city is Vancouver city and the Toronto city. So this is the base table, basic relational table is given. For this one, we have to construct the bitmap index table. In the bitmap indexing for a given attribute, there is a distinct bit vector called as BV. So we need to create a bit vector based on the values of the base table. For each value V, there is one bit vector in the bitmap index table. See this one, for item there are 4 values. Of course, these 4 values are again repeated. So that anyhow uniquely there are 4 values are there item. So that item bitmap index table for each value for home appliance and computer, phone and security, we are going to create bitmap index table. In this table, wherever the record is having that particular actual value, there we have to put 1. The remaining we have to put zeros. See this one in the record one, the value is, existed value is home entertainment. So that there I'm putting 1, remaining are 0. Similarly, record to computer, only the value is computer 2 in the record 1. So that at the computer bit vector, I'm going to put 1, remaining all are zeros. So like this, we have to create a bitmap index table. Similarly, for the city values, there are only 2 values, so that 2 bitmap vectors are constructed here. This is the bitmap index table for the city. So these are the wherever values are there. For record 1, there is a V is a, that is Vancouver city. So we are going to put the 1 and remaining is 0. So because of this one, we can able to search very fast using this bitmap indexing table. So coming to the join indexing, this is very similar to the relational table in the relational databases, how we are going to perform the equijoins, same. So if 2 relations are given, for example, R and S are the 2 relational tables. Having the IDs RID and comma A is the attribute, here B is the attribute and inside is the another ID. So for the attributes A and B, we are going to perform the join index whenever SID equal to the RID. These both are equal from the R and S, so that we can establish a relation, join both the 2 relations easily. So this is very similar to the relational database system. So join index records can identify the joinable tuples, and the join indexing is especially useful for maintaining the relationship between the foreign key and the matching primary keys from the joinable relation. In data warehouse, join indexing is very, very useful for cross table search. Because of the star schema model is supported by the data warehouse design or the multidimensional model. So join indexing is well suitable for cross table search. So that either using cross table search, join indexing or the bitmap indexing, we can able to search the particular value from the data warehouse. So join indexing also maintains the relationship between the attribute values of dimension and the corresponding rows in the fact table. See this one, this is the example for join indexing. There are 3 dimensions: location, sales, and the item. See this one, there are 4 transactions, T57, 238 and 459 and 884. Those are done from the main street. Who purchased the sales information belongs to particular location, and the item purchased in 2 transactions, T57 and T459 is Sony TV. So this is a joint index table for the location versus sales. This is the location versus table. Similarly, joint index table for the sales versus item is given here. Based on this information, now we can able to get the joint index table linking between 2 dimensions, location, item, and with respect to the sales. See this one, the particular item Sony TV purchased in a transaction called as a T57. Diagrammatically also it is represented in T57. There is a link between the location and the item. So that Sony TV purchased in the particular transaction T57. Those people are belongs to Main Street. The location is a Main Street. This is about the example of the joint indexing. Now, the efficient processing of OLAP queries. The purpose of materialization, whatever we have done previously, and OLAP indexing structure, these two are mainly used to speed up the query processing in the data cubes. These are the, but whereas these are the following steps are mainly used for efficient query processing. Whereas materialization, such as full materialization, partial materialization, and the no materialization, and the OLAP indexing, bitmap indexing, and join indexing, these will increase the speed up of the query processing, but not for, there is no guarantee of the efficient query processing. So the following are the efficient query processing steps. So the first one is determine which operation should be performed on the available data cubes, right? Next one, we need to determine to which materialized cubites the relevant operation should be applied. So that we have to follow these 2 steps along with the materialization and OLAP indexing so that we can efficiently implement the data warehouse data. So the examples given here are, so cuboid 1, suppose with respect to the item, name, city, year, 4 dimensions will be taken. Cuboid 2, brand, country, year will be taken. Whereas cuboid 3, brand, state, year will be taken. See this one, different dimensions. So according to the task, the various kinds of the dimensions will be considered. And cuboid 4, item, name, state, where year equal to particular 2000 year. So that we have to write the query efficiently. So process the query efficiently along with the materialization and the OLAP indexing, such as join and the bitmap indexing. So that these are the techniques of the efficient implementation of the data warehouse. Thank you.